By many estimations, there is currently a crisis in the world's economy. The issues afflicting the US and European banking systems, and by extension the banking systems of the world, have been characterized by many as issues that have existed for a long time. Some have also tried to argue that they're issues too of crypto. But others have suggested that there are lessons that traditional finance and blockchain can learn from each other. So is traditional finance transforming the digital assets sector, or are digital assets changing traditional finance? If those questions seem a bit chicken and egg, they're not. In fact, they're both of huge significance in their own way. Prevailing attitudes in many places, not least the United States, seems to be that crypto and Web3 need to be changed. In a research paper published last year, the US Federal Reserve said, quote, "Many parts of the digital asset ecosystem are designed to avoid regulation. Digital assets do not fit neatly into existing regulatory frameworks." Now, to some extent, this is being framed as a sort of power struggle, but not everyone seems to agree on who it is that's actually doing the struggling. For some, it's between governments and cryptocurrency, though. In a blog on coinmarketcap.com by the HODL official account, the author says, quote, "It's evident that the future of finance will be shaped by the interplay between these two forces." For others, though, it is more about where TradFi and crypto are meeting. Speaking at the WOW Summit in Hong Kong this week, Animoca's Josh Du said that it is about growing, not necessarily about changing.
I would have to say for a digital transformation, I don't really see it as a complete transformation. I see it as more of an improvement on the building infrastructure from traditional finance, traditional institutions, right?
Financial institutions have spent years trying to figure out digital assets, but it's only in the last few that they've actually been ratcheting up their exposure to them. Writing in Alpha Week in November last year, Mike Whitten said, quote, "We are now at the tipping point of a very rapid surge in adoption of crypto assets." Crypto firms too have found that TradFi is catching up.
If you mapped out kind of traditional finance's journey through the years, what we find is that actually as the industry grows, there's greater and greater kind of institutional involvement.
This is helping crypto improve in terms of its governance, its practices, and its strategies.
I think the idea here was, what if we took some of the kind of more crypto-native innovations like an art maker, for example, and combined it into some of the prerequisites that institutions require because they're used to the idea of KYC, AML, properly managed and operating companies, and put it all together. That's kind of the idea was to bring to the table.
The banking crisis in particular has raised issues around this. Banks used heavily by crypto firms, including Silvergate, SVB, and Signature Bank, have all recently closed, and some have suggested that authorities are trying to choke off-ramps from crypto to fiat. Others, like Vincent Chock from First Digital Trust, say that governments, banks, and others should be looking at crypto as a potential solution, not a threat.
What is the worst fear for the government? Is terrorism financing, money laundering? Well, technology through blockchain can actually solve a lot of those issues, but there's also other issues that they can't look past. It's really control. So crypto companies have that control because blockchain is technically borderless.
At a time when many of us are talking about a trust deficit with crypto, largely people are thought to be discussing the sector's trust with customers, but trust needs to be rebuilt elsewhere in the system as well.
And we also need to trust in the government and the regulators, which sometimes is the question, because a lot of crypto companies we've seen in the US has put in a lot of faith. They hired and they actually employ thousands of people in the industry, and by taking banking away, they're literally affecting a lot of people's livelihoods.
The digital asset sector needs to learn lessons as well, however. Building infrastructure that can withstand the rollicking machinations of the last year is of course going to be vital, but so too may be a change in attitude.
Companies can't survive unless you make them work. And you can't just build products that are just novel and interesting, you have to actually do something. And I think that as we're starting to see more and more of that resilience push through, and more companies in the crypto, Web3, blockchain space are building for this.
Change can be painful, but that's not a reason to shy away from it. As traditional finance confronts a future, digital assets are indisputably going to be a part of it. For all sides involved in that, governments as well, the key will be figuring out a way to work together. Alright, that's it for this episode. Do like and subscribe to this video if you want to see more content like it, and let us know your thoughts about what's happening in the comments or wherever you're watching.